Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. An Elmira man indicted on murder charges. Taiwan Denard indicted by the Chemung County Grand Jury for second-degree murder following a shooting back in June. The indictment states that the shooting on West Clinton Street caused the death of Irvin Mosley. Denard is also being indicted on 11 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. New York State is being sued over its ban on assault weapons. The complaint filed by the Firearms Policy Coalition, a national gun rights group. The complaint states that the ban violates the right to bear arms under the Second Amendment. New York banned assault weapons like the AR-15 in 2013. It's the first week of blueberry season in the Southern Tier. Big Fox's Maggie Hall went out to the fields to check out all the berries.
Rich in antioxidants and full of nutrients, blueberries are a great summertime snack. Today, I visited Hillview Blueberry Farm in Prattsburg, right outside of Bath.
If you're blue, getting your hands on some of these local berries might just cheer you up.
I was surprised by a familiar face, Al Abinato, a professor of mine from SUNY Geneseo. Al's family owns the farm, and here's what he had to say about the 2022 blueberry season so far.
We started a little earlier than usual this year. We started on Monday. It's been a drier season, so the berries are not as large as usual, but they are sweeter. Usually when the weather's a little drier, we end up with a much sweeter crop than usual.
Don't want to pick your own berries? Hillview has you covered.
We do offer pre-picked blueberries.
Blueberries aren't all there is to enjoy here at Hillview.
She had somebody who came the other day and commented on how quiet and peaceful it is out here, and that she really loved that she could just sort of sit out here and just listen to like the ducks in the pond or the birds singing, and that, you know, she had like this sort of like moment of peace to herself as she was picking blueberries. And I think that's like one of the big appeals.
No matter what you plan to do with your berries, there's one thing that's for certain. Nothing beats local berries. For more information, visit Hillview's website or Google blueberry farms near me to plan your own picking adventure. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
One of the world's biggest sports and entertainment companies is coming to Elmira. The WWE will host a Sunday Stunner show at First Arena in Elmira. The show is Sunday, October 9th. Tickets go on sale for the event tomorrow at 10 a.m. This is the first time the WWE will be back in Elmira since 2020. Some of the wrestlers being advertised for the event are current WWE Women's Champion Bianca Belair and former Men's World Champion Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Steve Donner, president of First Arena, told Big Fox that he hopes having big events like the WWE will help put Elmira back on the map for other headlining entertainment shows. Food prices have gone up more than 10% from last year, and they're still going up. Lydia Hu is at a grocery store with the items that have gone up the most.
New data out from the government today showing inflation soaring 9.1% higher than just a year ago. And a major driver of that inflation are food costs. Costs at the grocery store are up more than 12% over last year. And many of the price increases impact basic items that are in all American homes. We're seeing price increases on products like eggs. They're up 33% over last year. Milk up more than 16%, not featured here, but also in the report. Butter and margarine, well, that's up more than 26%. The trends are changing consumer behavior.
I think people are getting away from being brand loyal. You know, the customer that says, I have to buy Bounty, I have to buy, Hellman's Mayonnaise. I think they're looking and saying, what is the deal going on in that store today, and should I try something else?
When we look at month-over-month food prices, the increase in June is 1%. That's down from 1.2% in May, but food industry insiders don't see food prices dramatically coming down soon because energy and labor costs remain high. In fact, Joe Parisi, that's the gentleman you just heard from, he tells me that he got word this morning from his distributors that cold cut prices are going up again because of the cost to process the meat and the labor and energy gasoline needed to ship them to the grocery stores. And speaking with shoppers at the store here today, they tell me they definitely feel the pinch in their wallets from these increased food prices. They're trying to eat at home more, looking for alternative brands, buying in bulk, but they say the increases on these basic food items, they're just not able to escape them. Reporting from Midtown Manhattan, Lydia Hu for Fox Business.
Rent prices continue to rise in the U.S. In June, renters saw the biggest monthly increase in more than 3 decades. According to the Labor Department, rent was nearly 1% higher in June compared to May. Over the past year, it's up nearly 6%. But rent prices may be peaking. There's a surge in new units being built, adding more inventory to the rental market. President Biden attended a reception today hosted by Israeli President Isaac Herzog, where he received the Israeli Presidential Medal of Honor. Herzog recognizing Biden's 50 years of support for the country in his career as a politician. Biden called the award one of the greatest honors of his career.
Still so much more work to be done. That's why America's commitment to Israel's security remains ironclad. Today and in the future, that commitment is not about me or any other American president.
Biden visited Jerusalem as part of his 4-day trip to the Middle East, his first as president. The president will also visit the West Bank and then go on to Saudi Arabia. Another shark attack in Long Island. This time, a 41-year-old man was bitten while enjoying an early morning swim. It happened at Smith Point Beach in Suffolk County around 7 a.m. Wednesday before lifeguards manned the beach. The man was apparently paddleboarding when a shark bit him in the leg. He was able to get away and swim to shore for treatment. Authorities say he's doing fine, but temporarily did close the beach to swimming as a precaution.
I think it is an indication, however, that what we're looking at is something of a new normal, in that the sharks are these tiger sharks just a little bit closer to shore than they've been. They've always been here. They've always been out there.
Suffolk County officials say this is the first time the beach has closed to swimming since it opened in 1959. This is the second shark attack in the area. 10 days ago, a lifeguard was bitten during a training exercise. Officials say that lifeguard is still recovering and will be returning to work soon. We have a look at your complete forecast next. Plus, forgoing a pay raise for the option to work from home. How businesses and employees are adapting to remote work next.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Well, a few stray showers are moving through this evening, but overall we're looking at a quieter trend to take over. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Triplett, and those overnight lows are going to be able to fall into the 50s under those clear and calm skies. So a beautiful Friday will be setting up for us. A little cooler definitely to start the day, as we have a low potential of about 51 into Elmira to 50 degrees into Corning. So cooler start, but that sunshine this time of the year with that higher sun angle and the warmer soils that we're seeing, we will be able to rebound those temperatures pretty quickly. And overall, as we head from Friday into Saturday, it's looking like a pretty quiet seasonable forecast. So if you're looking for some outdoor weather, it's perfect weather, not too humid out there, and we're going to continue to hold off those rain chances until we head into that Sunday forecast. That's when some heat is going to continue to move its way in, humidity at that, and that's going to fuel the chance for few storms, but there will be a better chance on Monday, as that's when we're going to be watching a frontal system swing on through the northeast and bring that chance for some storms, but also look at that much of next week could be dealing with more of that heat and humidity. Now, as we look at the extended forecast, which even runs us through almost the end of July, above average temperatures are looking a bit more likely. So if you're looking for more of those 80, even near 90-degree days, we'll definitely see that in the extended forecast. As for the near future, what we'll continue to watch for is that high temperatures on Friday are looking to climb to about 83 into Elmira, 83 into Corning, 79 into Wayland. So still on that near average trend for your Friday. A touch warmer as we head into Saturday, especially as we stay under that sunshine. A little bit more cloud cover to see on Saturday as we will be watching that new system start to head its way towards the region with a high of about 87 into Elmira to 83 in New England. Also note that with that cloud cover working its way in, that is also the moisture that's going to be returning to the atmosphere. Now still very comfortable with dew points into the 50s Friday and Saturday, but you do see that those moisture values start to spike as we head from Sunday into that Monday forecast. So definitely a little bit warmer out there. Not looking at excessive dew points, but enough that it is going to bring some moisture to the atmosphere, which is definitely needed. When we look at our precipitation departure from average here across portions of Pennsylvania into New York, many of our sites here are below average, by some locations even more than 2 inches of rainfall since June 1st. Now Binghamton's the only area that's been staying above average, but that was due to some heavier rainfall early in that summer season. So we'll have to keep an eye on that potential as we look at the outlook, which is also the end of July. There is a slight chance that we'll see above average conditions as well for precipitation. So some good news there. As we even look at the 7-day forecast, there is some more chances. As mentioned, we'll have an increasing chance from Sunday into Monday, so that's your better chance, even flirting with those upper 80s on Sunday. So definitely warmer with a little bit more of those dew points in store. As we get past those storm chances, there will be a few isolated storms Tuesday and Wednesday. We still see that heat is going to be holding on. Upper 80s and potentially even a few 90-degree days will be in place, and then we could keep that through the end of July.
A new study shows that some businesses are choosing to expand the option for remote work as a substitute for pay raises. As Brianna Arredondo explains, the value of remote work comes down to what both the employer and the worker find important.
The desire to work from home was never a question for Sanjay Mahendrasa.
I can start at 7 a.m. or I can start at 9 a.m. And then depending on when I start, it determines when I finish.
He finished his MBA in the middle of 2020 and says his best offers were fully remote jobs.
I still have the PTO. I still have all my sick days.
So for 2 years, he's enjoyed flexibility and benefits from his home office in Tampa.
I think it's here to stay, and companies should probably get used to it because people like it. People are enjoying it, not having to spend, especially with gas prices raising, inflation through the roof, expenses are up.
Those expenses and inflation pressures are hitting workers and employers who go into the office. A new study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found 38% of companies expanded work from home opportunities over the last year to substitute for pay raises and to keep workers happy.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. And I know that some companies want to go remote so they don't have to pay for the utilities and the rent associated with it.
The study implies companies may use remote work to handle inflation. University of South Florida business professor Russell Clayton says the impact is likely more mixed.
Is it going to work for the worker? I'm a bit skeptical, honestly. The inflation is hitting us, for many workers, really hard. I believe there are a lot of workers who are going to want to forego work from home.
Business experts say each company has to find what works for them and what motivates workers.
The name of the game right now is to try to retain the resources that we have, the people that we have.
For Sanjay, working from home continues to work for him a couple of years into his job.
If they're anything like me, then this was a great job, and I enjoy working remotely, and I encourage whoever else to take a job to work remotely if they can.
Reporting in Tampa, Brianna Arredondo, Fox 13 News.
Calling all aviation buffs, a project years in the making to restore an historic airplane is now complete, and it's going on display for everyone to see at the Aerospace Museum of California near McClellan Air Park. Ayton Wallace got a chance to see this amazing aircraft up close and gives us a sneak peek.
What a nice thing to have, huh?
Its deep azure blue color, glossy finish, and sleek design make this aircraft a standout. And now you can see the A4 Skyhawk in person at the Aerospace Museum of California.
It's wonderful to see that it's all restored and just looking so pretty again.
But Aerospace Museum of California Executive Director Tom Jones says getting the decades-old fighter jet into top-notch shape was no easy task. While its bygone days of flying missions in Vietnam certainly gave this airplane a storied history, its years in service translated into gradual deterioration.
There were a lot of different things, from the nose wheel tire was flat, for starters, and then that became a big issue, and getting that part was unique. How do you find one of those for a plane that hasn't flown in 25 years?
But all of that changed 3 years ago when the community got together and put a plan in place place to restore the plane.
Dozens of volunteers, the board of directors, the staff of the museum.
They sought to honor this specific aircraft model, a model used by the U.S. Navy Blue Angel Squadron for years. Restoration included all kinds of projects, from everyday inspections to more long-term initiatives like stenciling these words on the aircraft body.
Just very, very thankful that to be done with a lot of work. This was thousands of hours of work on the part of dozens and dozens of people.
For now, the aircraft will be on display at the outdoor part of the museum known as the Air Park, but eventually they're going to bring it right in there as part of the main exhibit hall. Once inside, the A-4 Skyhawk will rest next to other airplanes and artifacts available for all to see.
We are so fortunate to have all these aircraft to honor the past and inspire the future generations of aviators, of astronauts, of engineers, of young girls that come in and say, man, that's cool and I want to do that. And that's why we're here.
Saluting our history while giving rise to the flyers of the future. At McClellan Air Park, Eitan Wallace, Fox 40 News.
Still ahead, a unique program is pairing wild horses with inmates. How this program is helping to transform lives, coming up. A unique program is pairing a few wild horses with inmates. The inmates learn to train the horses before they're put up for adoption. Dennis Shanahan has more on the special program and how it's helping to transform the lives of the inmates and the horses.
That's going to move forward, just like you're in that chair with the wheels on. JP Dial is the ranch manager at the Rio Casumnas Correctional Center. He's one of those lucky guys whose job is also his passion.
I don't work an hour a day because I do what I love. If I'm not on the back of the horse working with these guys, I'm kind of miserable.
JP trains horses and teaches inmates how to train them as well.
The first thing they have to do is work on connection. Then build a relationship. Then it's trust and the respect. And then they become the leader.
This program is a unique partnership between the Bureau of Land Management and the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. It involves wild horses corralled from federal lands in western states to prevent overpopulation.
They are wild, unhandled, untouched when we get them. But these guys do a really great job of getting them gentle and started under saddle. These three you see here are doing wonderful under saddle right now. And they're three horses we're really proud of.
JP gets to see the transformation of the horses and the inmates as each gets closer to a new life outside the gates of the correctional center.
The magic happens with the relationship between them and the horse. And it's just the neatest thing in the world to see.
The horses changed my not my whole life, but my mind.
Jose Toledo says working with this horse has taught him to be more patient, and that'll make a big difference when he's a free man again.
I got 2 kids, so I'm happy for that because when I get out, I'm going to be better for my kids.
Now, a horse is going to see right through you. Horse is all about energy. They'll see right through you. They're like a mirror to your soul. And so as the guys change, you'll see the magic happening.
The bond becomes so strong, adoption day is bittersweet.
They're the reason why they get out here every day. They become the reason why. They're their best friends.
After many months of training, this is the evening before the online auction for these three horses.
It's gonna be okay. New home, new friends, new family. I'm happy for that, but I'm a little bit sad. Hopefully when I get out,
you could visit her.
Yeah.
This program proves all of us are capable of change, and the man in charge is no exception. JP worked in the home mortgage business until the big crash of 2008.
A senior executive, and that whole thing blew up. Lost everything I had. Lost the wife, the house, the money, lots of money. And horse saved my life. A friend got me out riding, and it was my reason to get up. I would just sit on the couch all day depressed.
Up on a saddle, he found his calling and learned how to be a professional horse trainer.
They changed my life. Now I get to watch the Mustangs change these guys' lives.
For the inmates, the horses, and their trainer, this is a pasture where the past gets left behind.
Never have guessed, though, growing up in the Florida Keys on the water and boats and fishing, that this is where I would be.
In Sacramento County,
I wouldn't change it for the world.
Dennis Shanahan, Fox 40 News.
Stay with us. We'll have more right after this. We want to leave you with a smile. A man's love of Power Rangers just put him in the record books. Guinness World Records awarded Michael Nilsson's Power Rangers collection the title of the largest in the world. It's made up of more than 9,000 items, which include books, DVDs, and of course, action figures. He started his collection when he was 10 years old. His uncle gifted him the Megazord figure from the Power Rangers' first season, and since then, Nilsson has collected items for 28 seasons. He says he hopes his collection becomes an inspiration to others to take on a hobby they enjoy. I'm Scott Beadle. Thanks so much for watching.